One of the things I find to be so important in our increasingly complex and sometimes anxiety-ridden world is to find HaKadosh Baruch Hu's gentle hand on our soft shoulders. And the way we find that for most of us is through Hashgacha Pratis, feeling that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is determining the lives of our nation, the lives of the world, and of course our personal lives especially, and to think about those things and note them and remember them and review them. It's actually even a mitzvah. Rabbi Yonah writes in Shar Sheni of Shar Yeshivah, a person's Asar Milas, I think he talks about the Milas that a person has to live with, and one of them is to be mitbonein in the Chesed Hashem and remember them. So it's a very important thing. Why do I say that now? We're in the middle of Zahirus and Schar Bonish, because if you notice, we're outside and it's kind of like a nice little pastoral setting. You can see the little lights in the back for the Shav Brachas, which we've been zocheh to have since we moved, and so it kind of sets the tone for a difficult message because we're in the middle of learning about what encourages and inspires those of lower level to be zahir, that amazing process of considering your actions, knowing what the Torah wants, where are you holding, how do you get there? Knowing what the Torah wants, realizing where you're far away from it, strategizing, thinking how to get there. The Shleimei Adas get there by realizing there's nothing else that's so important as Avodas Hashem, as Shleimus, being close to Kadosh Baruch Hu. A thing which I think today's tzibur strikes a chord. The second one, which was to those of a lower level, which maybe strikes less of a chord, perhaps it does strike a chord, we discussed it all already, is the consideration and understanding that kavod moves you, and we don't like seeing those on a lower level. No one would want to see their secretary or their assistant or the guy who gives less money in shul or etc., the smaller Talmud Chacham, whatever it is that moves us, the player on the bench, to see them get more credit than us would be a challenge, and you have to deal with that. And here it doesn't make any difference. What's the difference? It's all foolishness, it's all narishkeit, it doesn't make a difference. But it's going to be like that in the next world if we don't prepare ourselves. And then we said those on the lowest level, what's going to move them, is Schar Bonish. There's going to be a reckoning day. So that's why I said now we're going to go more into the reckoning and show how severe the din is. That's why I said, it's Siyat D'Shmaya, because I take these recordings, these postings, this podcast, if you will, seriously for sure. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. But in my Baruch Hashem busy lifestyle, I kind of do a beni, sometimes very late at night, sometimes in my yeshiva office, and when I get a chance and the weather's right, I go into the lovely garden the Kadosh Baruch Hu helped us have. So I thought it was nice that Dafka, and as the sun is kind of like hitting my balding scalp, or my bald scalp, maybe balding might be too generous. There's something up there, but anyway, as the sun's hitting, to be out here and to take the message that Rabbeinu was saying. So everybody take a seat, button up, put on your seatbelts, remember the Kadosh Baruch Hu loves you, and let's learn about Midas Adin, okay, about Kadosh Baruch Hu's severity also. So we said last time that Sivav Nisara mode, the Kadosh Baruch Hu is especially tough on he who he loves. Like a hair's breadth. Now he brings some difficult to hear examples, but this is what he says. Avram, the greatness of Avram, we can't imagine. I was always moved by Rabbi Miller's statement about how great Avram was. He said if the Chavetz Chaim was a baseball, a softball, Avram would be the sun. And that's just incredible when you think about that. How big the Chavetz Chaim was, the Ruach HaKodesh of the Chavetz Chaim, the Gaonis, the Tzidkus, the Precious, every level, the Midos, the Chesed, anything a human being we can imagine achieving, the Chavetz Chaim achieved it. He changed Klal Yisrael, Mishnah Berurah, Chavetz Chaim, Shmiras HaLashon, Homas Adas, in every field where the Chavetz Chaim spoke, his words are accepted. If you think about the popularity, authority of the Mishnah Berurah, there's no posting today who doesn't spend a lot of time learning Mishnah Berurah and knowing it very, very well. Incredible. Something just absolutely incredible. And he would be, Avram was so imaginably greater than him. But what happened to Avram? Who Avram, ha'ohov lakona, that was beloved to his Kona. Let's not forget that. Achich Sivalov Avram Ovi, the passing in Yeshayim Aleph says, my Avram, my beloved. Lo Palet Minadin. He didn't leflot means like be out somewhere, like he spit something out. He wasn't spit out, means he was absorbed in. He had to deal with Minadin. Neidvarm Kalim. Small things shall dictate to him. Al Shamar Ma'ida. Avram questioned and wondered, Ma'ida Kerishana. How do I know that I will have a schus in Eretz Yisrael? How do I know that my children, how do I know the Yitzchak is going to get there and not the others? How do I know it's going to go to the right side of the family? Okay, I'm going off center. Ma'ida, Amr lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu chayecha. That's like a language of a shvu, of a swear. Yadoa tida ki ger yer zarecha. They will be ger yer zarecha. So Avram had what we would view maybe a momentary moment of weakness, an expression of that weakness, and that had something to do with us being Mitzrayim. Yadoa teda ki ger yer zarecha be'eretz l'olam. Incredible. Babadum vino some etc. Those psukim. That was one level of severity. Al shekaras brisin Avimelech lo tzivuy v'shamakom, that he made a covenant with Avimelech without a Kadosh Baruch Hu telling him to do it. Right, when you make a bris with non-Jews, it's not simple. It's not our topic, but Amalo Kadosh Baruch Hu Shani Mashem Simchas Banecha Shavi Doris. It'll be 7 generations to get the simcha of your children. I'm not absolutely sure what that's referring to, but I think it's maybe referring to the time that it took for the base of Mikdash to be rebuilt, or maybe the Mishkan to go up. But 7 generations. Think about that. 7 generations we had to go through because of that. I mean, it was one action. Big deal. That's Sviv of Nisara mode. Kadosh Baruch Hu is medakdik in those with the kosim chodesara. Yaakov al shachara apo berachel. Yaakov got angry at Rachel. Shamra, she said, "Lo, havid li banim, give me children." Right, those long hard years of not having children, and she spoke to him in a strong way, as a wife sometimes can to a husband. Amr b'medras lo yishanu. Amr lo Kadosh Baruch Hu kach onum es amukas. Yaakov doesn't bring the answer. Yaakov said, "Atakas elokimani, Enochi, am I under Kadosh Baruch Hu? I can't make you children, Rachel. You're coming to the wrong place. Talk upstairs." But he said it, Lefi Madrega, according to his level, in a sharp way, concerning sharpness. And the Kadosh Baruch Hu said, "Kach onim es amukas." Is that how you speak to someone who's down? You give a hard time to an almana. She wasn't an almana, but she was her own. In her own sorrow, your children would stand in front of her children. I think that means like the other sons, who were also his sons, who the sons which were only his, will stand in front of her sons. Now this is a really fascinating one, which I want to go into a little bit, because I do have a side lesson to share here. When Yaakov had come back to Eretz Yisrael, so he had a beautiful daughter, Dinah, and he was going to meet Esav, and he was worried about Esav taking her. Now, why was Yaakov worried about Esav taking her? Because Esav was such a person, right? We know the Chazal tell us now is not the forum to give it over. We know what type of fellow Esav was. He wasn't a big tzaddik. He didn't have proper manners. He didn't treat women the right way, if you will. And the last person that Yaakov wanted to marry, his wonderful daughter Adina, was his brother Esav, her uncle. So he put her in a teva to hide her, that Esav shouldn't see it. Sounds like a reasonable thing to do. Certainly his kavanah was l'tova, because he held back chesed from his brother. Amr b'medrash, this is the quote, Amr lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu, lamas mere'eu chesed, which generally means that since he held back chesed from his brother, lo bikashta l'asiyah l'mohol, you don't want to marry off to Esav, who was a mohol, who has a mila at least, he had a bris mila, hare he nises la'arel, she's going to get married to Chamor ben Shechem, whole mice of Shechem, that Dinah was taken, etc., and Nanas and all that happened there in Shechem, terrible things. Lo bikashta l'asiyah derech heter, hare he nises derech iser. You didn't want to allow her to be married in a derech heter, she's going to marry us with derech iser. You did the wrong cheshbon, Yaakov. Incredible. So Rosa, this incredible mitzvah din. I just want to take a second to say, like, you might be wondering, maybe I should just jump over this. So I'm not jumping over Rosa because we're learning a sefer, and learning a sefer is learning a sefer. Learning a sefer means learning all the sefer, and also because of balance. We all need balance, and we all move out of balance. Some of us are naturally more balanced. Some people have natural Dancer's balance, physical balance. Some people are always kind of klutzy. What's it called? Gross motor issues, right? Some people are very nimble, play piano, etc., and move like dancers. Some people are more clumsy. It's okay, but so too in the world of Ruchni, some people naturally are more balanced, some people aren't. Okay, but one message that I believe from my learning and experiencing and being Mishamish Chachamim, Baruch Hashem, being around my great Rebbeim and mentors, is balance. Gedolei Yisrael have balance. They are Balei Chesed and they're Balei Din. They are nice individuals and they're nice institutions. There's a balance. There's Klal and there's Prat. There's Melech and there's Talmid Chacham. There's Kohen, there's Talmid Yisrael. To me, the message of balance is always there. So, and when you aren't, I remember my great Rabbi Yaakov Friedman said to me one time, when a person isn't balanced, they come out as they're like a saris, someone who can't reproduce. That's what he told me, which was an amazing line to me. I'd never thought of before, right? The ability to reproduce in your children and your Talmidim comes when they see balance. He didn't really explain it, but it was a deep line. And that's part of the balance, right? We live in a very much a time which is less into Midas Hadin. We don't want to think about it. We don't want to know about it. Just we want to relate to Kadosh Baruch Hu like our friend, our buddy, our ach, etc. But it's not. That's not the. And I'm good with that. I say I was very happy. I saw the Heilige Klosenberger said this one time. And I don't want to compare myself in any way. Of course, that's a joke, right? No one should think I mean that. I was very, very happy that I was zochet his deep kavanah. But the Klosenberger said once, turned to the Rosh Yeshivah and said, Kadosh Baruch Hu, we can't handle din anymore. You see, it doesn't work for us, right? We respond well like children. We respond well to love. So turn off the midas din. The Heilige Klosenberger said that. I thought that once myself also. But look, you look in the world, you see there is midas din. Mashiach's not here yet. People are suffering. People are dying. Difficult things are happening. Anti-Semitism is rising. So there is a midas din in the world. You can't avoid it. So first off, it's not the Torah perspective to avoid things. It's not. Let's go through. It's not the Torah perspective. You can learn a sefer. You learn the whole sefer. One, it's not it's not the Torah perspective of learning. It's not the Torah perspective of balance, and it's not what we see in the world. We do see midas din. So we're not doing ourselves a favor by avoiding it, by not having it. Maybe the opposite. Maybe by learning the Mesilas Yesharim and seeing it, it could ground us a little bit. And I don't have the answers myself, but at least perhaps it'll teach us how to bring it into our world in the right way. Okay, so we have two examples so far. Was Avram and now Yaakov, and we're going to open up next time with explaining a little bit more what I want to share the Altiv Slobodka's shot about this seemingly not understood action. How could Yaakov be punished for not wanting his frum daughter to marry a Menuval like Esav? Esav, who he was worried was going to destroy the whole Jewish people. Esav, who started thousands of years of our suffering. Esav is Amalek. Esav is the Holocaust. Esav, she should marry Esav. So that coming up next time.